play this season because of an injury suffered during training camp. An Essex County Prosecutor's Office holds a press conference this morning after a violent weekend in Newark. 5 people were shot around 7 o'clock Saturday night. 2 have been pronounced dead, including a 10-year-old. And despite the tragic scene, Mayor Ross Baraka notes the downward crime in Essex County, but says there's still a lot of work to be done.
We've been working tirelessly and endlessly to make sure violence is reduced in the city. But these incidents make it clear that there's a lot more work to be done. There are too many guns on the street. Folks have too much access to guns in our communities. And we absolutely positively have to do something about that, making sure guns are not in the hands of people who don't need them or shouldn't have them.
Well, the mayor says the search is still on for a suspect. The investigation is ongoing, and officers are canvassing that scene. And a reminder, you can stay up to date on all of our top stories and stream our newscast live by downloading the Fox Local app. You can just scan the QR code right there on your screen for more. Let's turn on to weather to see what's in store for us this cold and windy afternoon. Let's bring in meteorologist Audrey Puente at the Weather Center with more on that. Audrey.
Yeah, it feels frigid out there, Bianca. It looks nice outside your window, and definitely from that sky cam shot, we see beautiful clouds, puffy cumulus clouds decorating the sky. But when you step outdoors, it is brisk out there. We have wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour possible today, and that will make for the coldest day this week. We also have a chance of rain, looks like Tuesday night, and also by the end of the week. Right now, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies or overcast conditions being reported out of parts of the area like Central Park, where it's 42, same number at LaGuardia. We're at 48 right now in Atlantic City, but it's really about the winds today. Here's a look at some of the peak gusts over the last 24 hours. We've gusts up to 60 miles per hour in Eaton's Neck. Bayville came in at 50 miles per hour with a wind gust there, 47 in Manhattan. We're dry on the radar. We'll just see a mix of sun and clouds. Say there's a few flakes flying well off to our northwest, but we'll stay dry until tomorrow night. The details on what you can expect coming up. Bianca?
All right, Audrey, thanks so much. Well, as the temperatures drop, heating bills are going up, and keeping up with those rising costs is not always easy. Governor Kathy Hochul is demanding federal aid to help New Yorkers stay warm this winter. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg has more details on this announcement and is also live with all of that. Jody.
Bianca, it's days like today with the wind coupled with the cold that really make you realize how much heat is needed. Hochul spoke this morning and she pointed out more than 70,000 people on Long Island rely on HEAP. It's the Home Energy Assistance Program, and it stopped when the federal government was shut down. But the government, as we've been talking about, has since reopened, but that funding hasn't been released yet. Governor Hochul calling on President Trump this morning to release those funds. She says New York is entitled to its $4 billion nationwide, $400 million of which belongs in New York. And the HEAP program provides hundreds of millions of dollars to help low-income families cover utility costs and fuel deliveries. And here, more than 1.5 million households rely on it. The funding goes straight to vendors, helping qualified residents keep the heat on through the winter. She says she's not stopping until the state gets that money.
I want to urge all eligible households to sign up for the programs we have here in New York. The New York's Energy Assistance Program, which provides monthly discounts on your bills. Now, here's what's frustrating. In 2025, we had over 1 million homes sign up for this. That's great. But we know that there's 1.5 million more that are eligible for this who did not sign up. So I need everybody to help get the word out.
And now we're standing outside of United Way in Deer Park. It's one of the nonprofits stepping up to help residents on Long Island fill that gap before the money is available. They have a program called Project Warmth, helping Long Islanders fill that gap for those who may not qualify for HEAP. And other nonprofits are stepping up as well, hoping the money comes down sooner than later. That's the latest here. Bianca, let's send it back to you.
Meanwhile, President Trump is reversing course on the Epstein files. Next at noon, what he is now saying about releasing the files and a potential House vote on this issue. Plus, the president also floating the idea of meeting with Zohran Mamdani. What he's saying about working with the mayor-elect. Welcome back. President Donald Trump calls on House Republicans to release classified files on Jeffrey Epstein in a shift from previous orders by the president. Trump said that Sunday Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files to prove he was not involved in Epstein's crimes. Now, that announcement comes amid mounting pressure from several Republican lawmakers to release the files, along with support from House Democrats. A bill to release the files is expected to have enough votes in the House to pass, but it remains unclear if it can get through the Senate. And President Trump says he's going to work something out and also plans to meet with New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. President Trump made the comment Sunday as he prepared to fly back to Washington after spending the weekend in Florida. The news comes as Mamdani takes office in 45 days. In the past, President Trump has called Mamdani a communist, threatened to deport him, to withhold federal funding from the city, and to send in the troops. Trump's comments last night sounded more conciliatory. And France and Ukraine stay united as an air defense deal is reached. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron attended a military briefing at the headquarters of the Coalition of the Willing in France today. It comes after Zelensky signed a letter of intent to seal deals with France on a supply of air defense capabilities, warplanes, and missiles in an effort to combat Russia's ongoing invasion. The coalition includes a group of countries led by the UK and France that have pledged to provide strengthened support to Ukraine against Russia. And after weeks of airport disruptions, the chaos is starting to settle down. Next at noon, what the FAA is saying about where things stand as of right now. Plus, if you're planning to head out for town for Thanksgiving, plan for big crowds. We've got some details on what is expected to be a record-breaking holiday season. Welcome back. A police officer was shot in Brooklyn. Let's get right to the scene in Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini with what played out this morning. Stephanie.
Hey, Bianca, good afternoon. You know, there's a very active crime scene here. We want to kind of show you what we're looking at. Just past the yellow tape here, we're zooming into the small building where police say this all started. According to police, they responded to a call about a body on the pavement. They found a man was shot. He was shot, we're told, by some kind of a weapon that police say they later recovered, a shotgun. Police say they found a pellet from that shotgun inside the building. So one officer stayed outside right by that police tent because that's where police say that body was found. The other officer went inside. They say that the perp was inside the building in his apartment. And then they say that the officer who was inside was approached and shot. That officer then shot back. So later we learn that two officers also responding to the scene. They're involved in a wreck. All three officers, they were sent to the hospital. The hospital is just up the block here. So two officers at the hospital. Two men are dead. The first was the man that police responded to that body back out here live earlier this morning. This happened just before 6 a.m. And the perp was also shot. The NYPD confirming he's dead, and it's believed he was shot by the police officer as this all unfolded. Now, the police officer, his injury is consistent with being grazed in the face or hit in the face. We're told that officer is expected to be okay. Again, he was taken to the hospital. The two officers injured in the wreck, they're expected to be okay. All of the information unfolding. What we're hearing from the NYPD, though, is that this is an example of how dangerous the job can be. We're confirming, Bianca, that this is a police-involved shooting. We're confirming that an officer was shot in the face. Police do have the weapon. They have the shotgun. And police believe that same weapon was used to shoot another man. Now, how did this all start? Well, we asked the questions. We're told they believe that it all started with a dispute between the perp and the other man. The other man also lives here in the building. It's being called a dispute between neighbors, resulting in all of this. Again, the information breaking, unfolding. I'm working here in Brooklyn. We'll get you more information as soon as we can. We do know, Bianca, that officer, though, is being released from the hospital. The officer who was hit during the shooting. We're working to get you more details. I'll have more into the afternoon on our digital platforms, and I'll be back later on the air. Back to you, Bianca.
Yeah, happy to hear that he is definitely being released from the hospital. Stephanie, thank you so much for the update. All right, let's take a live look right now at LaGuardia Airport as there's some much needed relief for air travelers starting today. So as of 6 a.m., flights across the country resuming normal operations. The FAA officially lifting its emergency order, bringing an end to the government-imposed flight reductions designed to address fatigue and staffing issues during the record-long government shutdown. Meanwhile, AAA projects about 82 million people will be traveling at least 50 miles from home this Thanksgiving. That projection takes into account Tuesday, November 25th through Monday, December 1st. The expected number is more than 1 million travelers than last Thanksgiving, which is the current record for the holiday week. Most of the traveling will likely take place on the road, with about 73 million people expected to drive to their holiday destinations. And transportation data company INRIX says the Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon before Thanksgiving, that's going to be the busiest days on the road. Meanwhile, President Trump's administration canceling a plan that would have required payments to travelers for flight delays. Now, this plan was first announced during former President Joe Biden's term in office. Airlines would have to pay passengers up to $300 for delays of at least 3 hours and up to $775 for delays at least 9 hours. The Transportation Department says the proposal has been withdrawn because it would have caused, quote, unnecessary regulatory burdens. Currently, customers can receive refunds for canceled flights, but no compensation is required for delays. And the New York City DOT unveiling a brand new ad campaign in hopes of pumping the brakes on dangerous driving. The campaign is called Rewind, and it's part of the Vision Zero program that aims to end all traffic-related fatalities and serious injuries. The ads feature the tagline, "No one choice can change everything. You can't rewind a crash." The ads will run on several platforms, including MTA buses and bus shelters. All right, Metro card sales, they're set to end on December 31st, and the MTA is giving away free Omni cards starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. The first 400 people to transfer their Metro card balance to an Omni card at 16 customer service centers in all 5 boroughs will not have to pay for the new Omni card. The regular price for a card ranges from $1 to $5. This move also takes place before the bus and subway fare hikes in January. All right, let's turn on to weather to see what's in store for us this afternoon. As we're taking a live look out here on this Monday. It's still chilly out there, but meteorologist Audrey Puentes at the Weather Center with more on that. Audrey.
Chilly, it's cold, Bianca. It is really cold out there. The winds are really not helping things. Even though temperatures are not that bad, it's the wind chills that are making it feel really cold outside. 42 right now in Central Park, 45 in Islip. It's 44 for you out in East Hampton. We're holding on to 45 in Bridgeport, 42 in Poughkeepsie, and it's cold in Monticello. That's where the actual temperature is at the freezing mark. And all of these numbers are running colder than they were at this time yesterday, but it's the wind that has our attention today for sure, folks. These are the sustained winds. They're between 10 and 25 miles per hour on average, but here's a look at the wind gusts. It's gusting to 45 miles per hour in Islip, 41 in Central Park, 33 in Bridgeport, and even inland numbers are producing some significant wind gusts too, like 30 miles per hour in Monticello and in Poughkeepsie. So when we factor in the winds with the current temperatures, this is what it feels like. It's feeling like the 30s in many spots, even the 20s up towards Monticello. The wind chills at 31 in White Plains. It feels like 33 right now in the city. The good news is, even though it's cold enough, or at least it feels like it's cold enough for snow, we're not seeing much of it here on the radar. It's really well up to the northwest of us here, where we could see a few flakes flying in places like the Poconos, maybe Pike County, Pennsylvania, moving over towards Sullivan County. The winds are being kind of coming off the Great Lakes, picking up some moisture, depositing it in the form of lake effect snow showers, and that's going to be the case anywhere east of the Great Lakes right now. We are expecting the best chance for lake effect snow banding in areas near the Great Lakes. That's not just here into New York. It's also into parts of Pennsylvania and heading over towards Michigan too. So we will see flakes flying well off to the north and west. I think most of us will stay dry here, even though it feels really cold and like it's about to snow any moment. We're just going to see a mix of sun and clouds across the tri-state area today. It actually looks really picturesque outside your window. However, it does feel very cold out there. Tonight we go mostly clear. That's how we'll start out our Tuesday too. It will be windy tomorrow, but not as blustery as today, so we'll kind of peel back the chill just a little bit. Clouds will be on the increase tomorrow because we do have a system that'll be passing to our south. Now, we're going to stay dry during the daytime hours. However, this system will kind of creep its way northward and will produce rain showers in areas mainly south of 287, mainly south of 280, actually 180 actually, or 80, excuse me. I got all the highways covered here. Looks like we'll have some showers south of the city here, mainly tomorrow night into very early on Wednesday. Then everything kind of clears the coast. So this will be mainly an overnight event where we'll see the potential for rain showers passing through the region. Then high pressure works in here, drying things out for us as we move along through Wednesday. So today we're only going to 45. However, with the wind gusts of 40 miles per hour, it will never feel that mild. It will feel more like the 30s throughout the day. Tonight we drop down to 34 in the city, 20s in the suburbs. Again, wind chills will be a factor tonight. Tomorrow still chilly, even though that high of 47 will make it feel more like the low 40s because of that breeze. And then we have a chance of a shower overnight into early on Wednesday morning, and then we'll dry it out for the afternoon. Coastal shower possible on Thursday. Rain returns in earnest though on Friday. Temperatures will be in the 50s by then, so definitely rain and not snow, but this will be the wettest day of the next several, so plan ahead. Bianca, over to you.
We're already planning. Audrey, thanks so much. Well, next at noon, could the next breakthrough in treating depression be LSD? Coming up, what new research is saying about using the hallucinogen to treat people with mood disorders?
cleaner.
Researchers exploring the idea of using a well-known psychedelic drug to treat depression. Scientists at New Zealand's University of Auckland recruited major depression patients to participate in an LSD microdosing study. They were given enough of the drug to lift their mood and energy levels without causing hallucinations. The subjects reported their depression levels and activities after 8 weeks. Most showed a clear improvement in their symptoms. Some had improved so much that the depression was considered to be in remission. And the maker of Wegovy and Ozempic is lowering the prices of the drug. Novo Nordisk will lower the price of the treatments to $349 a month for existing cash-paying patients. In a temporary offer, new cash-paying patients will pay $199 a month. The company says the change follows the Trump administration's initiatives to lower drug prices. The new pricing will be available at pharmacies nationwide. And two beloved snacks get makeovers promising the same taste without artificial colors or flavors. Doritos and Cheetos have launched a new line of chips called Naked, or NKD, and that features the same flavor while being, quote, completely colorless. Doritos Simply Naked will be offered in Cool Ranch and nacho cheese flavors, while the Cheetos Simply Naked will come in puffs and Flamin' Hot. This comes after PepsiCo announced back in October that it would begin phasing out artificial dyes on products like Cheetos and even Gatorade. All right, next at noon, hosting a Thanksgiving meal is a huge expense. How far would you go to ease the hit on your wallet? Coming up, we're getting into the viral debate over whether it's okay to charge your guests for the price of their meal. And later at noon, we're celebrating Martini Monday with Temple Bar. Stay with us.
We know we can't change everything you don't like about shopping, but here at Stop & Shop, we're going all out to improve what we can.
Thank you.
We've seen you doing finger math in the store, but no more of that. You deserve a better way to save.
Heck yeah, I do.
With over 10,000 items always on sale, it's time we actually loved grocery shopping.
Justin, when was the last time you went on break?
I'm on break right now. With so many ways to save, good things are in store at Stop & Shop.
Fox.
All right, it is 12:30 right now. Welcome back to the noon. We've got a whole lot more coming up here, starting with this. Hosting a holiday meal, not cheap, but would you actually charge your guests for a plate? We're digging into this viral debate. Plus, it is Martini Monday. Temple Bar is here actually to mix up some great drinks for us. Stay tuned for that. But let's first get another live look outside. Oh, it's chilly out there, but hey, it looks stunning. We're taking a live look there at what seems to be LaGuardia Airport. Things moving pretty decent now. Audrey Puente, some issues for travelers, and now it's kind of hopefully going to be getting a whole lot better for them.
Yeah, it's so New York centric that no traffic on the highways is stunning. A stunning view for us.
It was. I was like, okay, there's like 5 cars. What's going on?
Hey, where's everybody? Maybe it's just too cold for people to be out and about today, Bianca. I don't know, but it looks like it's going to be chilly throughout the northeast today. We have a very strong, gusty northwest wind, which is bringing wind chills down to the freezing mark in many spots, even below that northwest of us. These are the current temperatures. We're at 42 in Central Park. We're in the 40s across New England, and 47 right now in Philly, and in 48 in Atlantic City. But check out to the north here. That's where we're finding readings in the 30s, and factor in that blustery wind. It's feeling more like the 20s in upstate New York. They're also seeing some snow showers too coming downwind of the Great Lakes today. Again, when we have that strong northwest wind flow coming in across the warmer Great Lakes, that picks up moisture and then deposits it in the form of lake effect snow showers. And that's what we're seeing across Pennsylvania and into upstate New York, too. So they'll probably record several inches up there before it's all said and done. High pressure is waiting in the wings here just to our south. That's kind of helping to protect us just a little bit here, giving us drier weather here across the mid-Atlantic and right into the tri-state area. There's a system that's breaking its way across the nation that could help squeeze out a couple of showers for us as we go into tomorrow night. But in the meantime, big story across the nation is not here in the northeast. It's down towards the deep south where temperatures will be above normal. We're talking about 20 degrees above normal for this time of year, so that sounds really nice. Wish we could have some of that here. Temperatures right now are in the 70s in Dallas and San Antonio. Again, it's going to be very warm in this pocket that's happening right here in the southeastern states. We're into the cool pocket here. That's why temperatures are pretty chilly across the Great Lakes and into the northeast here. All right, look at the futurecast shows that we're going to have a mix of sun and clouds as we move along through our Monday here. The skies look beautiful. We have spectacular views all outside our windows here across the region, but it does feel cold out there because of that northwest wind flow. So as we go through the rest of the day, it's going to be dry across the area. Again, lake effect snow showers well off to our northwest. Tomorrow we'll wake up with plenty of sunshine. It will still be windy tomorrow, but not as blustery as today. Today, expect wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Tomorrow it'll be more like sustained winds between 10 and 15, gusting to 30. Catch that sun early because clouds will be on the increase ahead of a system that will pass to our south. This will spill cloud cover into the region by the afternoon. We'll stay dry until tomorrow night. That's when we'll see showers begin to creep northward here, and that will give us a greater chance of rain across much of the area, especially across central and southern New Jersey. I think we'll stay dry in the Hudson Valley. When we start off the day on Wednesday, the cloud deck will still be in place here along the coast, and I think it'll be mostly cloudy for most of us. The exception will be well off to the north and west where we'll see sunshine because high pressure will be nosing its way south out of Canada, giving us drier and clearer weather pattern up to the north here. So today we're looking at highs mostly in the 40s. It will feel like the 30s though throughout the day. Tonight we drop back to 34 in the city, 20s off to the north and west, but again, wind chills will make it feel much colder. Tomorrow still chilly. 47 will feel more like 37, and then we'll see showers coming in here as we go into Tuesday night into early on Wednesday. Chance of a coastal shower on Thursday. Most of us will stay dry, but rain returns in earnest on Friday. This is when we'll have measurable rainfall across the region, so Friday looks to be the wettest day of the week, but it clears out early on Saturday, and we'll be able to save much of the weekend. Temperatures will be in the 50s by then. Bianca?
Then, Audrey, thanks so much. Well, we are approaching the time of year when we get together with friends and loved ones for the holidays. But if you are hosting and you're on a budget, is it appropriate to charge your guests? This is a debate. It's getting a whole lot of attention online, and Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino hit the streets to get some answers.
Who's picking up the bill for all that food?
They'll try to push it off on you if you let them.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
They'll try to get you to pay for everything. Oh, yo, pick some things up. No.
Calvin is used to several family members chipping in to cover the cost of the meal. But a Washington Post column is asking a bigger question. Is it okay to charge guests for Thanksgiving dinner if money is tight?
Would you ask your guests to pay?
Sometimes it's good. This is the problem. The price, everywhere you go, is expensive now.
The column points out this debate is happening everywhere, online, in families, and on local radio. You can hear it in this moment from the Manny and Lauren Morning Show.
I have an aunt who charges for Thanksgiving dinner $10 a person, and she also puts out a tip jar.
But in the Bronx, where food insecurity is the highest in the city, charging guests didn't sit well.
$10 a plate is that's actually a good deal, but that's embarrassing.
You may laugh, but the pressure is real. Wells Fargo says a classic Thanksgiving meal for 10 costs about $80 to $95. Some stores, including Walmart and Aldi, are advertising boxed meals for around $40.
A report from the state comptroller says food prices in the New York City metro area are up 25% since 2019. That's faster than the national average.
For lower-income households who spend a bigger share of their income on food, even small increases hit hard. Advocates say delays and gaps in SNAP benefits this fall added even more pressure. So charging a guest who may be struggling can be hard to swallow.
Thanks for giving.
Is that right?
Thanks for giving, man. Gotta have a heart sometime.
Others say giving money at the door is just a potluck without the cooking, and it helps control the quality of the food. But that doesn't mean everyone's going to hand over cash.
We already know that family member who's going to try to weasel their way.
In the end, every family has to decide what Thanksgiving is worth. In the Kingsbridge section of the Bronx, Duarte Geraldino, Fox 5 News.
Costing more expensive these days, we get it. Well, coming up, a major honor for Tom Cruise. Details on the special award the actor earned this weekend as we check entertainment headlines next. Plus, singer Meghan Trainor putting out some new music and prepping for an upcoming tour. We're going to talk to her about her brand new era. Well, Tom Cruise received an honorary Oscar at the 2025 Governor's Awards in Hollywood over the weekend. The actor paid tribute to the people who make movies possible and reflected on the unifying role of film worldwide. During his acceptance speech, the four-time Oscar nominee said in part, "The cinema, it takes me around the world. It helps me to appreciate and respect differences and shows me also our shared humanity, how alike we are in so many ways. Making films is not what I do, it's who I am." And the third installment of the Now You See Me franchise topped the weekend box office. The heist movie, Now You See Me, Now You Don't, pulled in over $21 million in its theatrical debut. This installment follows the Four Horsemen magicians with younger magicians to pull off a heist against a corrupt diamond dealer. keeping pace for second place in its debut weekend was the reboot of The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell in the title role. Arnold starred in the original 1987 film, and it earned an estimated $17 million in its first weekend of release. And it was a busy weekend for Glenn Powell. Not only did he have a new movie out, but he also hosted Saturday Night Live. In his monologue, Powell wanted to prove to his UPS driver that he wasn't lying about being asked to host the show 4 years ago.
So to prove to Mitch that I am not a liar, I flew him all the way to New York. Coach, I don't know how Running Man's gonna do yet. But I flew him here. And he thought it was a scam, but he still came. And he is sitting in the audience tonight. So let's give it up for Mitch, the UPS guy.
Well, Powell was supported and supposed to host 4 years ago when Top Gun Maverick was scheduled to come out, but the release was pushed back due to COVID. So his appearance was also canceled. Mitch was there making a delivery when the family got the initial call, and in the excitement of the moment, they all took a picture together. Powell said that his sisters tracked down that driver, and he was called on stage to take a selfie with the actor as well. And Spike Lee visited the Vatican over the weekend with other filmmakers celebrating cinema. Lee gave Pope Leo a Knicks jersey. Look at that. Even though the Chicago-born Pope is a Bulls fan, Pope Leo is a graduate of Villanova University, the same school that Knicks superstar Jalen Brunson and teammate Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges all attended. Spike Lee was one of several filmmakers and actors to the Vatican this weekend. The Pope is calling on them to use their art to include marginalized voices. And Renee Zellweger helps unveiling a new statue of one of her most beloved characters, Bridget Jones. The actress was in London alongside author Helen Fielding and director Michael Morris. The statue joins the scenes in the Square Trial located in Leicester Square. It will stand among statues of Harry Potter, Mary Poppins, and Paddington. Zellweger has played Bridget Jones in all 4 films. And it's where timeless elegance meets modern cocktail culture. Next at noon, we are celebrating Martini Monday right here in the Noon with Temple Bar. Look at how stunning this looks like. Stay tuned.
Fox 5.
All right, the clock is ticking. Thanksgiving's going to be here sooner than we think, and professional chefs are offering their advice before you hit the kitchen. Executive chef at Omaha Steaks, David Rose, says to prep materials ahead of time, and he also says make a plan so that you can enjoy the holiday in peace.
Thing they taught me in culinary school is mise en place. What that means is everything in its place. They start planning 4 days out, where I'm putting my turkey into the fridge because you want to allow adequate time for it to thaw out. And the day before, I'll start making my gravies, I'll start making my sauces, my glazes.
Okay, well, I'm not sure when I'm supposed to do that when I have a full-time job, but when it comes to the turkey, Chef Rose recommends taking it out of the oven before it reaches 165 degrees. Let it sit, let it rest, and voila. We make it sound so easy. All right, Temple Bar is where timeless elegance meets modern cocktail culture. Look how stunning this is. The menu pays homage to the classics with stand-up martinis like the Temple House Gibson, while embracing the new guard with inventive cocktails, champagne pours, and even mini martinis. Oh, we love a mini martini. Join us now, Noelle Sanabria, bar manager at Temple Bar. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going from turkey to this, and I'm like, yes, I need a drink because to me, turkey's a little dry. So I'm glad we're starting off with some martinis.
No, we need something to moisten it.
I was going to say, you guys are known for some of these amazing drinks. What do you have here on the menu that stands out to you?
So we just actually dropped a new martini menu. We have a couple of fun stuff. There's a low ABV martini, a dirty blue cheese martini. We're kind of just having fun with it.
So what are we trying here today? What are we starting off with first?
So,
like the number one martini that's ordered on the menu.
Oh my God, dirty vodka, hands down.
Yes.
Right? So everyone knows the dirty vodka. Everyone loves the dirty vodka. It's in movies. It's on social media. It's all over the place. So we start there.
Okay, so maybe you could tell the audience what the difference between dirty vodka, besides that, and like a filthy vodka. So I asked for that.
Okay.
So what's the difference?
So filthy just has more olive brine.
Yep. Oh, this is good, though. This is really good.
Yeah, I made it like a little medium for you.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So we, at Temple Bar, the thing that we get the most often is they want dirty vodka martini with no vermouth.
Okay.
We don't do that. It's just olive brine and vodka.
It's really good.
That's it.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so
Very
next on the
classic.
list is the Vesper.
This is a Vesper. I think when people think of martinis, they also think of James Bond. Vesper, very
classy.
Exactly. So brought that guy over.
Okay. Gosh, on a Monday, you guys are trying to just make my whole day, aren't you?
Yeah, I try.
Okay, that's stronger. That's a little stronger. Ooh, that is strong, but it's good. I like the citrusy of it. And then the last two ones you have over here.
Last two, we're sharing these because I'm very excited. So I wanted to mirror them a little bit just to kind of like make the line across. So this one's a dirty blue on the new menu. It's blue cheese liqueur, a Roquefort liqueur.
I've never heard of that. Blue cheese liqueur.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Is this new? Is this a new thing?
I mean, new to me. I only learned about it about a year ago.
It smells great. Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yep.
That's really good.
And,
and the blue cheese.
I caved in and I bought blue cheese all
I mean, I'm not going to lie. These are just number one in my book. And then last over here, you have this other two little ones here.
This is a lifetime ban. So technically not a Temple Bar cocktail. It's a Dan Greenbaum cocktail. But we have, it's a Negroni style martini. But I would say that this is kind of like a more...
Oh, that is refreshing. That's really nice.
Vesper.
Oh, that's really... Is there a mint in there? That is beautiful. Okay, you have one last one surprise for us, which I'm hearing that it's something that's going to be added to the menu pretty soon.
Yeah, for the holidays, I was thinking we could do something kind of... I know everybody wants an espresso martini.
Yes. Especially when the holidays, you're just tired of everyone's, this is what I want for Christmas, that's what I want. I'm like, just give me a martini. There we
Santa
go.
Claus or something.
Okay, so what exactly is in this?
So this is a Dominicana. So we have a coffee liqueur, aged rum, and then I made some whipped cream on the way here.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Let me just smell this. Let me just get a little. Can I get it?
Oh, get that spoon.
Okay, let me just get a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if there was a spoon. Okay, I'll just use my finger.
I brought a spoon.
Oh, that is amazing.
I whipped that myself in the cab ride over here, okay?
Okay, so this is called Dominicana?
So she'll get topped off with
I like that you
bit of
added
cream.
some rum to that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I just wanted to switch it up just a little bit. I know there's everyone in their vodka. They're
and a dollop of...
Just a dollop. Just right on top, nice and cute.
That is beautiful.
She usually looks prettier than this. I tried my best.
No, this looks good. This looks amazing. You kidding me? Okay, I'm gonna take a sip. And then where can people make reservations? Where can they come try all the drinks as well as the cookies that you have here that are holiday cookies that I guess you're bringing out for a limited time?
Yeah. We have reservations can be taken on Resi 2 weeks in advance, and
oh, this is lovely.
We do walk-ins where we can.
I love that. Okay, well, thank you for bringing some holiday cheer to us. All the drinks. It's only 12 o'clock, 12:50. Okay, never mind. Oof, we're getting there. We got more news straight ahead. We're gonna finish our little drinks after this. Thanks so much for coming. Welcome back. Pop star Meghan Trainor steps into her next chapter with fresh music and a 2026 tour on her way. Her singles Still Don't Care and the music video are out now, leading up to her album Toy With Me. That's dropping April 24th, followed by the Get In the Girl tour. And we spoke with the singer about the music, the inspiration behind it, and what fans can now expect. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
You can say what you want. Meghan Trainor's album, Toy With Me, kicks off a bold new era for the singer, blending honesty, confidence, and her signature sass.
It's my album from my 30s, you know? I am 31 and thriving, and I'm also like a mom of 2 young kids, and I'm going through real life stuff like all of us are going through, and just I write down anything I'm feeling in that time period when I'm in the studio. So I felt a lot of anger. I felt sadness and extra love. I felt a lot of love too. And I wrote that in a lot of my songs.
I still don't care. Trainor claps back at online body shamers on the lead single Still Don't Care, setting the tone for the rest of the record.
I got angry, I got feisty on a few songs. You can hear that right away. This song, Still Don't Care, was a lot of my anger and sadness towards reading everything online. They're like, she's unrecognizable, she's not the girl that she was with All About the Bass. And I'm like, that was 11 years ago. I hope I'm better. I hope I've grown up since 19. I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna love me as I am, because I'm so proud of myself.
You're the best I ever had. She's taking that fire and fun straight to the stage next summer on the Get In Girl tour, starting June 12th.
I just want to dance. I want to dance and escape and have the best night ever with everyone. I want them to feel like that every night. And that's why we called it Getting Girl, because everyone's welcome, and get in and escape all your real life problems for the night.
No, I still don't care. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
All right, listen to this. The penny is no more, but it could be more valuable than ever. Next to noon, how much the last pennies pressed in the U.S. last week could someday be worth at auction. Plus, a special ornament is being released to mark America's 250th birthday. How you can get your hands on the keepsake.
Fox 5.
America's 250th and the White House Historical Association unveiling official ornaments celebrating the nation's 250th anniversary. Each year, the WHHA makes an ornament honoring a president's time in office. Limited edition ornament features the Declaration of Independence on one side and an American flag waving atop the White House on the other. It's trimmed with 24-karat gold. That ornament costs $26.95. Well, let's get a final check of the forecast. Talking about Christmas already. It feels like it outside, though.
We have a lot of decorations on some of the area buildings, too. It does feel like Christmas for sure because we do have that cold weather in place here. Today's high temperatures will be in the 40s. However, it will feel like the 30s throughout the rest of the afternoon because of that blustery northwest wind coming in. And tonight we drop back to 34 in the city, 20s off to the north and west. But again, wind chills will make it feel even colder. Tomorrow, it's still a bit windy, not as brisk as today. We're going with a high of 47, which will feel more like 40. And then we'll get into some shower activity late tomorrow night into very early on Wednesday. But temperatures will be in the 50s by the time we get to the end of the week. Bianca?
Sounds good, Audrey. Thanks so much. Well, that is our show. But before we go, here's one last thing to leave you with. The last U.S. pennies could be worth an absolute fortune. A report says the last pennies made at the Philadelphia Mint last week, they could be worth about $5 million each. Wow. Several will be up for auction in December. The final 5 pennies have a special omega symbol to donate their special status, denote their special status of finality in minting. Rare Coin Price Guide Gray Sheet says prices could be as high because of extreme demand among collectors. Wow, the penny getting a lot of play. We'll see you tomorrow. 25 Words or Less is next. If you want more news, tune into the Fox local app, which is streaming right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody, 102 on your Monday, November the 17th. Welcome to Newsroom Live, everybody. I'm Antoine Lewis. Happy to be with you from the newsroom of Fox 5 Studios on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Hopefully, everyone's work week is off to a solid start. Vinny Mariani, who's right here with me, our engineer. Vinny, can we look outside really quickly? Just take a picture outside as we talk about the conditions here, because I don't know about you, once we get into weather, it was very chilly today. So as you're looking at that, you see we have some clouds in the area, but we're going to break down things a little bit more, as well as what you may need to know as far as temperatures go on the evening time of day. But a couple of news headlines we want to get to you and share with you a couple of the things that we are covering here. A police officer, an NYPD officer in Brooklyn, is recovering after being shot while responding to a call this morning. So here's what we can tell you. The officer, again, recovering after responding to a call on Boylan Street in the Brownsville, Brooklyn section, happened around 6 o'clock this morning. Police apparently arrived to the units there, to the apartments, and found a man deceased inside. Now, during the investigation, police identified a suspect who at one point barricaded himself inside his unit. Police say at one point during the investigation that suspect fired at responding officers, striking one in the face. That officer, Sharhil Waris, 25 years old, rushed to a nearby hospital. He has since been released. He is now recovering. The police, though, had a news conference at the hospital where he was being treated. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch weighing in on things. We want to listen to a portion of what she had to say earlier today.
Officer Waris is a 4-year veteran of the NYPD assigned to the 7-3 precinct. We met with him a few moments ago, and I am pleased to report that he is in good spirits. But make no mistake, this could have ended very differently. What happened this morning is a reminder of how quickly danger finds the men and women who protect this city. They stood their ground, they did their jobs, and they kept people safe. And once again, they reminded us all what it means to put on that uniform.
Okay, and as you just heard Commissioner Tisch say that Sharhil Waris, 25 years old, been with the force for about 4 years, and that was the hospital, Brookdale. It's a trauma center there. It's one of the busiest hospitals in the city, actually. We've done stories with them. I myself have there. The suspect's ID has not been made available yet, so nothing on him. But again, the good news is that that officer is home, expected to recover from his injuries. Other crime news to tell you about. It was a violent weekend we're covering today. But here, let's talk about what happened with the Jets cornerback, Chris Boyd. So here's what we can tell you about that. So police are looking for the man wanted in connection with the shooting of Chris Boyd, who is a cornerback for the New York Jets. So take a look at this. The police are releasing video as well as 2 photos showing a man running down the block with a black Jeep parked behind him. Now, he was last seen wearing a black hat, sweatshirt, pants, multicolored sneakers, and carrying a black book bag. Investigators say the shooting happened shortly after 2 a.m. Sunday on the west side, West 38th, between 7th Avenue and Broadway. Police sources telling Fox 5 that the shooting was preceded by an argument and that the gunman apparently fired 2 shots, one of which struck Boyd. According to the NYPD, Boyd is in critical but stable condition. Now, a little bit more about him. He's in his first year with the Jets, having signed with the team in March. He's yet to play the season because of an injury that he suffered during the training camp. So again, police are looking for the person wanted in connection with that. That's another big story that we're following and that our crews will also be talking about that. Let's go to Jersey now and talk a little bit more about Newark, because investigators there in Essex County are also looking for people after a very violent weekend in the Garden State. A news conference was held this morning. 5 people were shot around 7 o'clock Saturday night. We have understanding that 2 pronounced dead, and this includes, from what officials are telling us, a 10-year-old child. Now, despite the tragic scene, Newark Mayor Ras Baraka is noting that crime is on a downward spin in Essex County, but says nonetheless there is still much work that needs to be done. And so, all right, so we're going to see if we have the mayor of Newark right now, Ras Baraka. Well, still waiting for that. But basically what he was talking about is how crime in Newark has since been trending downward despite this situation where, again, 5 people were shot around 7 o'clock on Saturday night. So, again, we're covering a lot of crime today. particularly busy weekend for authorities. And again, that officer, we are happy to report, that was shot in Brownsville, Brooklyn, appears to be recovering from his injuries. It is now 1:06 on your Monday. A quick break, more news, more headlines, including Governor Hochul addressing energy costs here in the state. Newsroom Live will return. We'll see you in a minute. All right, everybody, welcome back to Newsroom Live. Another quick look outside, because if you haven't been outside, it is quite chilly. Nonetheless, heating is certainly a concern as we move into this time of year. It's also on the mind of our state officials. It's on the mind of my colleague, Jody Goldberg, who has information on what Governor Hochul is actually trying to do to address heating costs. We're going to go to Long Island now and check in with Jody, who's standing by. Jody, you hear us?
Yes, I do. Antoine, it's days like today. I'm sitting in my car. I still have my jacket on because only a few minutes ago I was outside. That's how cold it is. It's the cold air. It's the wind that really, it makes you realize that home heating is extremely helpful when the temperatures dip below 40. And Governor Hochul was calling on President Trump, calling on the federal government. The shutdown may have ended, but that the federal dollars rather haven't showed up in the banks, the bank accounts and the vendors who need that money. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what she had to say. On Long Island alone, about 70,000 people out here rely on HEAP. It stands for the Home Energy Assistance Program, and that's money that they rely on each winter to help fuel their homes, and they haven't received that money this winter. Antoine, I don't know if you're able to hit that sound from her now. Let's give it a listen.
For the programs we have here in New York. The New York's Energy Assistance Program, which provides monthly discounts on your bills. Now here's what's frustrating. In 2025, we had over 1 million homes sign up for this. That's great. But we know that there's 1.5 million more that are eligible for this who did not sign up. So I need everybody to help get the word out.
Wow, Jody. Okay, that's interesting what the governor just said.
And what also is interesting is, $400 million in New York alone. Then, Antoine, the number is $4 billion that's owed throughout the nation to different states across the country. 400 million of those dollars belong here in New York. And so much of that is for these residents that rely on heat to heat their homes. The money comes for this HEAP program, Home Energy Assistance Program. It goes to the vendor that would pay or deliver the fuel, and they're the ones responsible. So it's not like the homeowners would actually see a monetary amount or a check in their bank account. It goes directly to the vendor, and that's money that would, be able to heat their homes, and that's money that they're waiting for. The governor is hoping that that money comes down. One other thing I want to point out to you, hold on one second. I just want to go to a text message that I just got from, the White House, and it's from a senior admin official at the White House. Quote, and this is a quote from them: everything is being processed as normal as the government comes back online from the radical Democrats shutting down the government. And now you question, what does that mean? That's a statement from a senior admin official in the White House saying that everything's back to normal, but Hochul is saying everything's not. We will have more for you tonight at 5.
Just the fact that you're trying to stay on top of this as you're trying to report and bring all this information, statewide, because it impacts everyone. Jody, have you been sensing anything from the people that you've been talking to as you've been covering stories related, in and around this? Is everyone just looking for a little bit of relief, I would imagine, right?
Out here on Long Island, so many people, about 70,000 people on Long Island alone, rely on this program. And we're told that their checks in the past, or that money I was talking about that goes directly to the vendors, that money typically comes out right before Thanksgiving. But if you look at the calendar, it's November 17th. We're getting very close to Thanksgiving when they'd want the money. And so in only a matter of days, they're going to be asking for it. I'm also in the parking lot of United Way, and they're a nonprofit that helps residents with these types of hardships, and they're seeing an increase in calls as well because people are looking for this money. They have their own program. Many of these nonprofits coming out with their own programs to help because the money isn't there yet.
All right, Jody Goldberg reporting for us from Long Island. Jody, thank you so much for being with us on Newsroom Live. We'll see you again in our evening newscast. You and Jimmy McLaughlin, your partner out there, you both stay safe and stay warm. That part.
Thank you, Antoine. See you later.
All right, everybody. Bye. So now, in case you did not know, the MetroCard, a staple for transportation, is going to be going away. Before I get to that, though, I want to tell you a little bit about Vision Zero, and there's going to be some developments to pass along to you about that. So the New York City Department of Transportation is unveiling a new ad campaign in hopes of pumping the brakes on dangerous driving. So the campaign is called Rewind, and it's part of the Vision Zero program that aims to end all traffic-related fatalities and serious injuries. Now, the ads feature the tagline, "One choice can change everything. You can't rewind a crash." The ads will run on several platforms, including MTA buses and bus shelters. So that you need to know right there. Whatever platform you are watching us on, we certainly encourage you to leave a comment. If you have a question about anything, if there's something you would like us to look into a little bit more, we want that engagement with you. So go right to that section right now and certainly put that information in right there. One more quick break, more news, more headlines. And I've been talking to you about the weather because there are a couple of changes coming that we want to make sure you are on top of. It is 1:15 on your Monday, November 17th. I'm Antoine Lewis in the newsroom of Fox 5 on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to Newsroom Live. Taking a look at national news now. Now, as you know, the New York City mayor's race ended about 2 weeks ago. Zohran Mamdani, Democratic Socialist, will be the next mayor once he takes office next year. But his relationship with the president has been something of a lot of talk. So anyway, here's the update. President Trump says he'll work something out and plans to meet with New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Trump made the comments Sunday as he prepared to fly back to D.C. after spending the weekend in Florida. The news comes as Mamdani takes office in just 45 days. Now, in the past, the president has called Mamdani a communist, threatened to deport him, to withhold funding from the city, as well as send in troops. Now, new comments last night, Trump's comments, his new comments last night sounded more conciliatory. So that's your update there. Now, I mentioned Metro cards, and we want to show you some video to explain to you what's happening with the Metro card situation. So in case you didn't know, they are set to expire at the end of the year. And because of that, the MTA is giving away free Omni cards, which is what the new system will do if you're not paying with your device or tapping with your own credit card. So starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow, the first 400 people to transfer their Metro card balance to an Omni card at 16 customer service centers in all 5 boroughs will not have to pay for a new Metro card. Now, the company is saying that this is the only way that's going to do that. They're trying to make it a little bit more of an appeal. Some people are concerned, just used to swiping it as opposed to just tapping. But the regular price for a card ranges anywhere between $1 to $5, depending upon what amount you're trying to get and the length of time. The move also takes place before buses and subway fare hikes kick in January. So now a live look at LaGuardia Airport, because as we talk to you about that, some information you need to know is we are a little bit out, a little more than a week away from travel. But anyway, much needed relief for air travelers starting today. The FAA this morning started allowing commercial airlines to resume regular schedules. You heard me correctly, resume regular schedules. Now, this, of course, comes after restrictions were lifted that had been imposed by the government during the shutdown. So the return to normal is coming again just in time before the Thanksgiving holiday rush, starting next week, when a projected, good grief, 81 million Americans are expected to travel over the holidays. So we have that. So we need you to understand that as you're going to be making your way out into travel for the holidays. And you can come back to me, because speaking of that, here's the latest from AAA. AAA is expecting about 81 to 82 million people will be going at least 50 miles from home at some point this Thanksgiving. Now, the projection talks about Tuesday into Monday, December 1st. So that's the time frame that they're talking about. The expected number is more than 1 million travelers than last year's events, and that's the current record for the holiday travel. Again, most of the traveling will be taking place on the roads, according to AAA. About 73 million people are expected to drive to their holiday destinations, and the transportation data, Enric says Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon before the actual holiday will be the busiest days to be on the road. So if you are looking to travel, then you absolutely want to give yourself time to get onto the road, because you're going to be sharing it with a lot more people. All right. Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani has a news conference that we'll be going to right after a break, and we'll fill you in on what he's talking about in just one moment. All right, everybody, 1:22 on Monday, November 17th, and snacks. All right, let's talk about those because they certainly are they can be a problem as much as they can also be a comfort. But some information to tell you about if you're worrying about how healthy or what companies are actually trying to do to make snacks even more healthy. Well, here's what we can tell you that PepsiCo has apparently announced involving two of, okay, at least one is my favorite, but two beloved, if you will, snacks are going to be getting makeovers. Same taste, the company is saying, but without artificial colors or flavors. So we're talking about Doritos, which was the one that I was referring to, and Cheetos. Now, you know they are known for their crisp, bright orange colors. Thank you, Vinny and Dave. But here's what's going to be going on. They've launched a new line of chips called NKD, which stands for naked, which basically means, quote, completely colorless. So Doritos Simply Naked will be offered in Cool Ranch and Nacho Cheese, as well as, let's see, the Cheetos Simply Naked, which NKD again, will come in Puffs and Flaming Hot. Now, this comes after PepsiCo announced back in October that it was going to be phasing out artificial dyes on products like Cheetos and even Gatorade. So there you have that. So if you start to see that line, then just know that they're getting makeovers. You see the flavors that they're coming in there, but yeah, looks like they're going naked, if you will. That's what that stands for, NKD. Now, we want to go back to our top story just to update you because we are sending thoughts and prayers to the NYPD as one of their own is recovering from a shooting. So here's what happened. Officers got a call, and this is actually the officer as he's about to be released from the hospital. Let me tell you about him. He's 25-year-old Sharhil Warris. He's been with the force 4 years, according to authorities. And so here's what happened this morning. He was responding to a call around 6 o'clock on Boylan Street in Brownsville, Brooklyn. Police arrived and found the man deceased inside an apartment. Now, during the investigation, police identified a subject who at one point had actually barricaded himself inside his unit. Police say at one point during the investigation, the suspect fired at responding officers, striking Warris, whom you saw in the wheelchair, in the face. Now, again, he's 25 years old. He was rushed to the hospital in critical but stable at the time. But as you can see, the doctors there, and that's Brookdale Hospital. Brookdale is a trauma center, one of our main ones in here. And so they're, I believe, a level, I don't want to misquote, but they're whatever that highest level is it level 1? Thank you, David. Yeah, level 1 trauma center there, meaning that they get the, for lack of a better term, the worst of the worst, meaning the most serious of the serious as far as calls to shootings and stabbings and trauma like that. So that's what's going on. What you can't hear right now, unless I'm wrong, is the applause, which is always a striking scene when you see the officers saluting one of their own, especially knowing that this certainly could have gone another way. Officer Warris right there, 25 years old, again, was shot in the face when this happened. As far as the suspect, officers, from what the police are telling us, returned fire and they also struck that individual. His identification has not been released just yet, but that's the very latest as far as what's going on there. A couple of other quick headlines we want to talk to you about. Police are also looking for the man wanted in connection with the shooting of Jets cornerback Chris Boyd. Now, 2 photos have been released as well as some video by the NYPD. We want to show you that. And so what you're going to see is a man running from police. He's running down the block, if you will. I misspoke. He's running down the block. That's the one police are looking for. And as you can see, there's a black Jeep behind him. Now, he was last seen wearing a black hat, sweatshirt and pants, multicolored sneakers. He was carrying a black book bag. Now, investigators say this shooting happened around 2 a.m. Sunday. West 38th Street between 7th and Broadway. Police sources telling Fox 5 that the shooting was preceded by an argument of some sort and that the gunman fired 2 shots, one of which struck Boyd. And according to the NYPD, Boyd is in critical but stable condition. The player is in his first year with the team, signing with that team in March. He's yet to play yet, though, because of a injury that he suffered during training camp. And that's Boyd right there. So again, that happening on the weekend. As we take a live look outside, I don't know about you, but it was very chilly, very nippy as we did so. But I'm not the expert. Audrey Pointe, meteorologist, is miking up, and she's going to break all of this down. You can step in. We see you standing here. We're going to break. Audrey will be with us to talk about the forecast and what you need to know as you're heading out of the door if you're working evenings or heading out. We'll be right back. Thank you, Vinny. Back now at 1:29, almost 1:30 on Monday, November 17th. Vinny, would you take us outside? Thank you, sir. Look at that, right on cue. You know, Vinny did. Clouds, a couple of them in the sky I noticed when I came in, but the very first thing I noticed, Ms. Pointe, was it was cold and the wind.
The wind. Well, you can see the camera was shaking there just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, there. Not that camera. The other camera.
But no, I noticed the wind, you know, was doing a lot.
That will definitely get your attention. It looks great outside your window, Antoine. I mean, like everybody, it's spectacular. I took pictures this morning of the cumulus clouds that are decorating our sky. It just looks amazing. However, when you step outdoors, yes, the wind is definitely going to get your attention today, folks. Temperatures are only going to be in the 40s for our readings. However, with the winds, it'll feel like the 30s throughout the rest of the day. But the good news, today's the coldest day of the week.
Oh, excellent news.
Yes, so this will be it. Looking at our satellite and radar, we'll see clouds decorating the sky. There's a few lake effect snow showers to our northwest. Those are coming downwind of the Great Lakes, so we could see a few flakes flying in places like the Poconos, maybe even Sullivan County, but that's it. No one else in the tri-state area should be seeing some snow today, and it's not going to be, it's just going to be a cold and windy day.
It was a very windy day. And
you know, we're having wind gusts up to 40. Well, the forecast is for 40 miles per hour. However, I just saw in this last hour that we had up to 44 miles per hour in Islip. So there you go. That's tropical storm force winds. It's I would love actually tropical storm. Such sounds much warmer than what we're dealing with.
Totally, you know, just given that.
But at least we don't have rain.
Right.
That's the positive note here.
Okay, so it looks like some clouds may have moved in through our video, but
yes. Looking like
we're
it's
working
dusk.
It out. Yeah, look.
Look, with this
that's
double
Vinny
vision.
right there. You know, so
we have a little double vision now.
Yeah, we're working it out. But in the meantime, there we go.
There we go.
So, question for you. Now, we've had this discussion before about bringing things off the balcony. You know, that could be projectile.
God, my stuff was all over this yesterday.
You finish, and then I know what you're going to ask me. So you brought all of your stuff in, or?
I did. I brought the pillows in, but the chairs I sort of anchored. I was anchoring one on top of the other because they were flipped over, and I wedged them underneath a lounger. Like I was just.
You're just trying to keep them from becoming projectiles.
Yes, because it can be extremely dangerous. People don't realize. Like it's a picture. You're walking in the street, and anything could be a projectile and very dangerous to your body.
Exactly. And you're also on a high floor.
Yes.
Your floor is very high.
I am on a high floor, but it doesn't have to be that high. Like if it's just anything flying and thrown your way unexpectedly, you could hit anything.
So do you remember the last time we were together here talking about wind and wind was a consideration? And I told you that tree, that holly tree that's in the corner, it blew over, and I left it down because I was like, the wind was going to blow it down. So the wind blew it over again Sunday.
And did you think of me?
I did when I left it down.
I was gonna say, and you'll say you didn't bring it in.
I
know you didn't bring it in.
Because it's going to blow it right back. I keep going out there picking this thing up. And then
why wouldn't you just bring it inside?
There's no room.
Come on.
It's going to look weird.
Right. I agree. I have outdoor furniture in my living room. Like my kids are like, what's with all the furniture? But listen, it's about safety. You were laughing, but it can actually be dangerous.
No, I'm not laughing. I left it down so it wouldn't. So
what about all the dirt? It's going to fly all over the place.
No, it's compact. Whatever spilled over is there. But my point is that even if you go to put it back up, you know, thinking it's safe, at least where I'm at in Harlem, where the wind comes through in the back on the balcony, it blows
you're like
over.
your balcony's like in a courtyard. Like
yes.
You're not out on the street where everybody's walking.
Thank you.
Okay, so Audrey, you can just have it because I'm not in the street, I'm in the courtyard.
We have this discussion every time there's wind. I'm like, Audrey, I'm not putting that tree back up because it's going to blow down. True story. Once about 2 years ago, maybe the wind kept blowing it down, and I uprighted that tree, meaning put it back up 5 times in 35 minutes. I kept track of it, so I just leave it down now. I can't believe you don't just bring it in. I can't believe you have room to bring it in. You're just bringing it in temporarily. It's not living there. Mind you, is it even safe to even have it out there as far as the temperature is concerned? Yes, because it's a holly, so it's okay with it's a winter, fall, winter. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I need to get one of those
like
because I killed my plant.
Well, it's on the left side. The one on the right side is dead because the sun keeps hitting that one. This is on the shaded side, so that's how it goes. Yeah. But having said that, and before you continue to chastise me about that, it's safe. It's not. And I'm on the second floor, so I'm okay. You know, Thanksgiving is coming up. You know, you staying put? You traveling?
I'm staying in town. Yes, I'll be in town.
I'll be in town also. But let me ask you your thought.
I'm not hosting. I'm not cooking though.
Interesting segue. Thank you for that. And we want your thoughts on this too. A number of people over the last 15 years or so, the Friendsgiving, has become a thing where if you're not with your family, you're with friends, colleagues, stuff like that. just
Ooh,
to
yummy. I
just
like
to
that
do.
shot.
Let me ask you this.
I'm hungry now.
This is Duarte Geraldino, our colleague. His story that he's doing right now.
That was not
is
Duarte.
That
was
no,
Duarte.
Duarte was holding the mic.
Right.
Yeah. But the story is it okay to charge guests for Thanksgiving dinner? Meaning,
oh my gosh.
So, but
what?
wait, but let's set it up. The government shutdown happened. A lot of people didn't get checks if they were federal employees.
wow.
People
Yeah.
are also dealing with affordability issues.
Yeah.
There are also things coming in, imports, whatever.
Right.
Tariffs are part of considerations. There are a lot of factors that have made holiday cooking and catering, if you're doing it at home, a little bit more expensive this year.
Oh my gosh.
So this was the story. Is it okay to charge people? I'll start with friends. I won't go with the family because that can get in a situation. But tell me your thoughts. If you were holding a Friendsgiving, you've got people coming over. Is it okay to say, "Hey, everybody, I had this amount. Is there anything you would do? Can contribute?"
Right.
How would you handle it?
I have had a Friendsgiving, but when I lived in other markets before coming to New York, I hosted Thanksgiving because I was in town for the weekend, and everyone else was there from other cities. We're all like our first TV job. Anyway, I have everybody bring something. You don't have to charge everybody. You just ask them. Everyone contributes. I mean, why wouldn't? Who charges? I don't know. Did he find someone that actually charges?
He did.
And he did.
Okay. Here's my thought.
Is that person going to be eating alone?
Here's my thought. I kind of am of the group that don't think it's wrong to at least a donation or a contribution. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, just maybe like help out. No, well, see, I'm the type I would volunteer.
But why wouldn't you ask them to just cook something and bring it? That's helpful. That's more helpful.
Not
and
all
more
of my friends can cook. Please, Tommy, my best friend in Boston, no, nowhere near the kitchen. I gave Tommy a crock pot for Christmas like 2 years ago. He's used it twice. And even then, I had to tell him what to cook and how to do it before.
Yeah.
But that's just Tom. That's not Tom's, it's not in his wheel wagon.
Right.
But I don't think I'm not saying you have to split everything down the middle, but at least.
It's tacky.
You think so?
Can we take a poll on this, Vinny?
Or Dave Alter, are the comment section up yet where people can weigh in on this?
Can we have a poll on this?
We want to hear from you.
This warrants a poll.
I agree.
Maybe you could just wash some dishes.
Dave Alter, our ops manager, is saying,
everyone
help clean up.
Yeah, rather than
charge
take
people.
anybody's money.
Suppose they offered. I'm the type,
You're not going to take their money.
If I were to show up and say, how much did this cost? Let me Zelle you. That's me, Now, I wouldn't look for it.
But Duarte's story is about charging people. In other words, you're sending out the email, hey, come on over Thanksgiving, it's $25 a person. Like, that's different.
Maybe Duarte has food and drinks, entertainment.
I want to have words with the person he found that's actually doing it. I want to talk to them.
Duarte will be in at 2 o'clock, so we'll have to figure that out.
We'll have to figure that out.
I mean, there are a lot of people. You saw the headline; it was a thing. We did a story on it too.
Where was that thing? Where is this happening?
I'm gonna
have to research this.
How are we with the comment section, Dave?
Yeah.
Anybody weighing in on this yet?
Really have,
no,
okay, we're still
don't have
working
access
on
to the
that.
comment.
Dave's still trying to figure it out, but we don't. That's not going to let us stop trying to get you
I already
to
know.
weigh in.
You can message me on Instagram, RG Pointe, wherever. I already know. I have people on my side of this one.
Absolutely. Let us know what you think, and we'll figure out the platform that we're on right now so that we can hear from you.
Yeah.
We
might have to put a poll on Instagram on this one.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I wouldn't be offended if someone asked me.
Noted. Noted.
Now.
If anyone needs to pay a guest to pay, here's your guy. Here's your guy.
But also, as long as it's not a crazy amount.
Okay, so now what's the limit? Here we go. That's another question, right? Now what's the limit?
If someone's charging $50, I may as well just go to a restaurant.
Well, that's true, right?
And then I cook, so I could, if someone's charging something crazy, I would like, forget this, I'll just cook it myself.
So what's a fair limit then, if we were going to go this route?
What, $10, $15? At least I'm showing something like, hey, I tried, as opposed to showing up with a bottle of wine or, Kettle One or something like that.
We're so stretching this out here. Because I was going to say,
I have some comments.
You have comments. Okay, let me just make this one point.
Okay. New York Tri-Staters are weighing in. What do we have?
If the point of having this is to relieve someone of financial stress, right? The thing is, they would have to put out for the groceries first initially, and people are just showing up to pay, or is it done beforehand? This is very complicated. Just have people bring stuff.
Let's hear what you have to say. What do we got, Dave Alter?
This person says once the invitation has been given, it's the responsibility of the person who invited the people over to cover the expense.
In other words, don't charge. Thank you. Who was that? Let's start them out.
Another person has a question. They're like, is this for profit or just to recoup?
Oh, wow. See? There's people.
Well, no, that's a fair discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It's our understanding it was just to perhaps recoup, or just to not put the burden, on just one individual, one family, one couple, one household.
Right. So then they would have to charge beforehand. They would need the money beforehand.
Or let them know up front.
Right.
Yeah, let them know up front.
They don't show up with cash in hand. They have to pay in advance so the person can buy the food to cook. And then what if? So then, forget this. This is way.
But no, it's a
this
talker.
would not happen in my house.
It's a talker, though. Anyone else weighing in just yet? No, that's it so far. All right.
These people are tuned off. They're like, no.
Someone says good. Still, nonetheless, you heard how much discussion we've been having on this. It was also a discussion in and around with some of our colleagues. Let us know what you think about that as well, because we want to hear from you. Is it okay to coming off of the economy? Everyone's got different budgets, different things they're working with and navigating right now for the holiday, the approaching holiday. Is it okay to charge people, maybe a small amount or something, just to help offset the cost, for that was put in by whomever's hosting?
Or can they just bring something like a potluck and contribute that way?
If they can cook. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. .143 on your Monday, November 17th. Antoine Lewis, happy to be with you from the newsroom of Fox 5. Let's take a live look at LaGuardia Airport, because as you just heard us talking about the holidays and stuff like that, we have some updated information just in time for the holidays. Starting today, the FAA is allowing commercial airlines to resume their regular schedules. Yep, you heard that correctly. This comes after it lifted all restrictions that had been imposed during the government shutdown. Now, the return of normal is coming again just in time for the holiday rush. Starting next week, a projected 81 million Americans are expected to travel. AAA actually updating that, saying it's probably going to be closer to 82. So between 81 to 82 million Americans are expected to travel at least 50 miles from home this Thanksgiving. Now, this projection takes into account Tuesday, November 25th through Monday, December 1st. And then that expected number again, 1 million travelers more than last year. So know that as you're going. Now, the current record actually was set last year at that 80 million number. So most of the travel will be taking place on the road. 73 million Americans are expected to drive to their destinations next week, with the busiest days looking like the Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon before the holiday. So if that will be you. If you're going to be sharing the roads with our Americans, our fellow Americans, then be careful out there. Gas up early. Make sure you've plotted and planned everything out. Make sure that you've got the charger for the car. If you're relying on GPS, take all of that into consideration. If you're traveling with children and you're going far distances, you know the drill. Make sure that you have enough to keep them occupied as well. Now, Audrey and I were talking earlier about charging for Thanksgiving. It was a story our Duarte Geraldino did. You know, Vinny, roll that video while we try to explain it. And Dave, did we get any more comments? Just checking to see if we heard anything. The conversation centers around whether it's okay, given the economy that Americans are dealing with most. You know, it's been tight for, you know, most this year, especially the last month or so, the last 45 days. Is it okay? Is it fair to charge guests that are coming to yours for the holiday meal? You know, a lot of back and forth discussion, you know, on that. And again, it's a story that Duarte did, just talking to New Yorkers, talking to people in the tri-state about that, because apparently there are a number of people who are doing that this year, saying that, look, there's a headline there in the Post, the Washington Post. If money is tight, is it okay to charge guests for Thanksgiving dinner? So it's a trend, as you saw there, of transferring the responsibility. We were having a discussion like, wait, are you trying to recoup some of what you put in, you know, as far as trimmings and fixings and the bird or whatever, you know, you're using if you're vegan, you know, or are you trying to make a profit? You know, Audrey was of the inclination that no, whomever is hosting should foot the full bill. I myself was thinking like, well, I don't really see if it's, you know, tight. You know, if they were to ask me, I'm visiting someone's house and they say, hey, you got a couple of dollars you can give us, then absolutely I would go in and pull $2 out and give to them to help offset, you know, I would do more. Vinny gave me this look, you know, when I said $2. Of course I would do more than two, Vinny. I would do three. Anyway, but no, we want to hear from you. Seriously, let us know your thoughts. Are you okay with being asked to contribute to the holiday meal, you know, if you're a guest, you know, or are you okay if you're hosting with asking, you know, for help on that? So whatever platform you're watching us on, we want you to weigh in on that. Now, again, Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, again, making news and headlines. A lot has been made of his relationship with the White House. Well, we actually have an update for you. Zohran Mamdani and President Trump, the White House is letting us know from the president himself that apparently he plans to meet with the mayor-elect. So Trump made the comment Sunday as he was flying back to D.C. after spending the weekend in Florida. Now, this comes again as Mamdani is taking office in 45 days. You remember in the past, during the campaign leading up to the election, the president called Mamdani a communist. He threatened to deport him. He also threatened to withhold federal funding from our city, as well as to send in the troops. Now, Trump's comments last night sounded more conciliatory. So, look, the bottom line is this: New York City is the largest city in the country. So the relationship between the White House and City Hall here is absolutely one that has to work. So the fact that the president is saying that, you know what, he will meet with the mayor-elect, given the background, given the history, you know, leading up to the election, is certainly good news for us. We'll keep you updated on that, but that's the kind of news we like to hear, that, you know, our city and the nation's capital are trying to find some common ground, whatever that may look like. We'll take a quick break. More news, more headlines, and don't stop the comments coming, weighing in on the discussion we're having. Is it okay to charge guests that you've invited over that are coming to your place for Thanksgiving? It is 1:48 on your Monday, November 17th. I'm Antoine Lewis. Happy to be with you. More Newsroom Live when we return. All right, everybody, back now at 1:50 on your Monday. Just keeping my eye on the time. Okay, Vision Zero has been a big initiative here in the city. There's some updates we want to pass to you. There's a new campaign in hopes of pumping the brakes on dangerous driving. The campaign is called Rewind, and it's part of the Vision Zero program, which is aiming to end all traffic-related fatalities and serious injuries. So as you're looking at these ads, they feature the tagline, "One choice can change everything. You can't rewind a crash." The ads will run on several platforms, including the MTA buses as well as bus shelters. Speaking of the MTA, let's go right to this to let you know about MetroCard sales. As you know, if you didn't know, well, they're about to end on December 31st. The MetroCard is going away, and the MTA is going to be giving out free Omni cards. That's the system they want you to move over to. So there's no more trying to swipe it just right just to get it through. You tap your Omni card right there, or use your device or a credit card if you want to pay. Here's what you need to know. Starting tomorrow at 8 a.m., the first 400 people to transfer the balance of their old Metro card to an Omni card at 16 centers throughout the 5 boroughs will not have to pay the fee for the new Omni card. Now, the regular price for a card ranges anywhere between $1 to $5, depending upon the amount of service you're trying to get. Now, this move also takes place before bus and subway fare hikes happen in January. All right, as we've been talking about food moving into the holidays, 2 makeovers we want to pass along to you. 2 beloved snack makeovers. One of them a favorite of mine. I'll start with the Doritos first, because here's what's going on. Apparently, according to PepsiCo, they're going to be launching a new line of chips called NKD, which stands for Naked, that will feature the same flavor while, quote, being completely colorless. So Doritos Simply NKD or Naked will be offered in Cool Ranch and Nacho Cheese flavor. My favorite is a spicy nacho, but anyway, while the Cheetos will simply be Simply Naked, will come in puffs and Flaming Hot. That Flaming Hot is quite popular. Now, this comes after PepsiCo announced back in October that it would be phasing out artificial dyes on products like Cheetos and even Gatorade. Now, I guess you can still have a cheese flavor without the color to some degree, right? You know, but I'm curious. Yeah, I'm going to try it, you know, in moderation, the Doritos, but may seem a little weird if it's not orange colored.
Maybe. I mean, it's one less chemical in the product, right? Because it's still an ultra processed product, so
True.
It's all chemicals. So we're slowly improving.
So we're slowly,
for the health and well-being of our country.
We're making strides, you know, in that area. But speaking of slowly and improving, let's talk weather with us one more time before you have to run back upstairs.
Very good, because we are going to be slowly improving as we go into the next couple of days. Today's going to be the coldest day of the week, yes.
Thank you.
We'll stay dry. There's a couple of showers on here on this Futurecast. That's for tomorrow night. Most of this will happen overnight, so you'll wake up Wednesday maybe with an isolated shower along the coast, but everyone else should be pretty dry. Lows tonight will mostly be in the 30s, but factor in the winds. It will feel more like the teens and 20s after what was a very blustery day with temperatures mostly in the 40s, but wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, making it feel much colder than that. Good news. Today, again, the coldest day of the week. Tomorrow, we're in the mid to upper 40s, and the winds will be slightly lighter, so it will feel a little bit better, and that's going to be the trend. Just a little bit better each and every day, because on Wednesday, the winds will be light. Thursday, we start to see, temperatures start to rise a bit. In fact, we're going to be in the 50s. Check this out. Look.
Wow.
50s by the end of the week.
Look at Friday. Wow, 56.
Yes, but it's going to be raining on Friday. That's going to be the wettest. I know. The warmest day will be the wettest day. It's always a compromise, right?
I know.
Hey, listen, the weather is about balancing the atmosphere, Antoine.
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
So over the weekend, it'll be in the 50s, so make your plans to be outdoors. I know people were enjoying this past weekend. It was actually
very
nice.
lovely.
Yes.
Very lovely.
Yes, so we'll get another chance next weekend.
Tell us about the lows, though. Is that seasonal for this time of year?
We're below normal right now. We are colder than normal. It's November.
Right.
Look at that. Oh my God.
That is stunning.
The skies are spectacular. I mean, if you're out looking out your window,
Vinny, that is live, right? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I just had to ask.
Look at that skyline.
Oh, no, that's nice.
I mean, I took pictures of this morning. It's just spectacular.
Gorgeous, you know.
It is. It looks spectacular outside. It just doesn't feel as spectacular as it looks.
I will let you make the case, because you always do, about making sure anything on a balcony, because you've been talking a lot about winds, and, you know, we want to remind everybody just how serious it is.
Right. Well, last time we had a wind advisory, so that's when people needed to really bring in stuff. I know I did, because my stuff was flying all over the place. Today, still windy. We don't have a wind advisory because we're not just meeting the criteria, but it's still windy, and if you're especially on a high floor, you'll have things flying around, so bring them indoors. Tomorrow will be a little bit better. And then after that, it gets even much better. So
let me ask you this. All right, we've been talking about, one of our discussions that we've had, in regards to charging people for Thanksgiving, whether or not you should do that. But, okay, here's another one, just a discussion to bring everybody else in that may be watching us too. When do you start to decorate for Christmas? A lot of people say the day after Thanksgiving, which is next week, everything goes up. Where are you with that?
Well, my plan was to do it after Halloween, but I got late in ordering the things that I wanted, so they're still not in. So mine will be up the day after Thanksgiving, for sure.
So initially it was after Halloween. You had planned to put up the Christmas decorations.
That was this year's plan. Okay,
you were going to leapfrog Thanksgiving and go straight to Christmas. Okay.
Because over the years, I always did like the second week of December because I used to do a real tree. Okay. So you have to. I want to make it last because I'm Puerto Rican and the tree's got to last till January 6th. We all leave it up for all Three Kings Day. Right. Yep. So I had to leave it. But then I switched over to artificial during COVID because tree prices were skyrocketing, and I realized that Amazon was savior during that time, and I've been there since.
Got it.
So now I can do the tree early, which is such a joy, like to be able to do it earlier. So I've been doing the day after Thanksgiving, but I committed last year. I'm doing it the day after Halloween.
So why did you move it up?
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean for this year?
Yeah, for this year.
Because I see everybody on social media with this stuff. Like, it's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm more of the mindset like let's just wait till we get closer to Christmas or whatever the holiday.
I can't wait. I can't help myself.
Okay.
I can't help myself. I'm excited.
I'm not saying anything.
I already started wearing all my Christmas clothes. Just for those of you that don't know, like I have a whole entire wardrobe for the month of December, but now it's bled into November. I wear Christmas everything, like Santa pajamas, loungewear. As soon as I come home, the Christmas gear goes on. I did a whole reel on it. It's on my Instagram. I did 2 reels on it, actually. I should do one for this year, too.
I wish you were making this up. It
I
is
order
absolutely
new pieces.
the truth.
I order
Every
new pieces,
year,
yes.
she turns it over, and we'll
Hold
actually
on.
track them as they're coming from different locations and making sure it's a real big thing in the Puente household.
Yeah.
I've witnessed it for years.
And we all wear matching pajamas for Christmas, too. My kids are, they're still doing it. They haven't cut me off yet with that.
And 2 are in college, mind you. But
One more comment about Thanksgiving.
Okay, one more.
What is it?
Read it to us, Dave.
Sherelle Gamble, I think you should repeat it.
Sherelle Gamble
says, don't come empty-handed.
Don't come empty-handed.
Pies in a pan of baked mac and cheese.
Ooh.
Some people cannot cook mac and cheese, so don't bring that.
I agree.
Please contribute or just give.
Okay.
So,
Sherelle, thank you.
Give a little donation or bring something.
Okay.
She makes Sherelle, thank you.
She's arguing for both sides. Because I'm with the side of Sherelle that brings food. You want the contribution.
I'm with that side. Yeah. No.
Okay.
If there's a go-to dish, you have to make sure the right member of the family, the right friend, is preparing
That's true. Well, listen, that's the job of the planner, the host. If they're going to assign people to make things, they got to know who can make what.
You know what? When Duarte gets in, he may be here. Let him know about the discussion
when he comes in. Like,
that
Duarte,
he has started
we got to talk with you.
When he got here. All right, let's look outside one more time so Ms. Puente can give us the kip. Just give us the wrap one more time.
Yeah.
On that, so we know we can talk about the weather on that. We're almost out of time. So all right, first
Chilly
chance of rain is
tomorrow night. It'll be overnight though. You'll probably sleep through the whole thing, and unless you're our colleagues on the Good Day New York. Wind speeds are up between 10 and 25 miles per hour. They're gusting to 40 and over. So it's just going to be a blustery day. Today's the coldest and the windiest. It will get better from here. Promise.
All right, everybody. You are up to date on everything that we are covering. Our next newscast will be for us at 4 o'clock. I'll be with you there for the news block.
We'll be together.
You'll get the 2 of us together. No extended discussions on whether or not you should be charging people for Thanksgiving. For RJ Puente, Vinny Mariani, Dave Alter, our ops manager, I'm Antoine Lewis. Thank you for being with us for Newsroom Live. We'll see you again at 4 and more Newsroom Live later this evening.
Thanks for watching Fox 5 New York. We're now joining live now from Fox.
Tripping over each other to see who can be more, bellicose in talking about China. But I just don't agree with that as an approach. And I think everything I've done with China has proven otherwise. That is not the only way to get things done. And we might find that there's a very different course of possibilities if we were to work in a sincere way of dealing with other things. Now that's, mind you, there are a bunch of things that are problematic in terms of how China behaves. I mean, you've got challenges galore. ranging from access to the marketplace, theft of intellectual property, Uyghurs, Taiwan, nuclear weapons, 9-dash line in the South China Sea.
It's going to be hard to climb out of that hole to be optimistic, Secretary Kerry.
No, I disagree, because that's the way life is, folks. I mean, there's nothing we're presented with today that hasn't been presented in a slightly different form to another generation. You know, every one of the problems we face are caused by human beings, and they're caused by human beings and how they interpret other people's politics, other people's strategy, and other people's culture, and so forth. And you get stuck there. And I think, you know, the art is to sort of find the way you can get commonality and break out of there. I'll give you a commonality suggestion. If we just have a race with China for AI, what Putin said is that whoever controls AI is going to be able to control the world. That's Putin's view. And Xi has not said something like that, but he said that China's going to lead the world in AI. Now, I don't know how many of you read Tom Friedman's article in the New York Times, maybe 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago. Brilliant article, in my judgment. Really crafted carefully, word for word, important, a huge message. And the bottom line was, if we don't sit down with China and work out the guardrails and the rules of the road for AI, we are all asking for potential cataclysmic disaster. We lived through this in the post-war world, post-World War II. And we had a constant struggle with the Soviet Union on who was going to develop the next weapon. And if you looked at the history, and it's worth going back and tracking it, you look at the history of the arms race, beginning with us dropping an atomic bomb. I'm not saying we shouldn't have. I think it was the right thing to do, and I support that. But we did it. Then came the hydrogen. Then came, I think...
Secretary, we're just out of time. So the punchline here is, what I hear you bringing us to is, while you emphasize that there is a great competition, a great race, it is, of course, useful to remember the value of cooperation as well on the great powers, on the great teams of our age.
But there's some things, a little more than that. It's not just the power of cooperation, it's the imperative in this.